For decades, when we talked about epic infrastructure, who came to mind? America, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Hoover Dam, legends forged in steel and concrete. And today, China is building mega projects so unbelievable, so jaw-dropping, that even American engineers are standing there like, wait, how is that even possible? Today, we're diving deep into a world of modern marvels. Let's start with the project that truly shocked the world, China's high-speed rail network. This is the story of how China turned the impossible into reality, and why the world now calls it the infrastructure maniac. Remember America's dream? The California High-Speed Rail Project, launched in 2008. The promise? Zip from Los Angeles to San Francisco in a few hours for $33 billion. The reality? More than a decade later, it's a swamp. The cost has exploded to over $128 billion, and our grandchildren might still be waiting for it to be finished. Now, look at China. In the very same year, 2008, they opened their first high-speed line, and in just a few years, they did the unthinkable. They built a network over 25,000 miles long, enough to wrap around the entire equator of planet Earth. Their trains don't just run, they fly on land at a blistering 260 miles per hour. Imagine going from New York to Chicago in the time it takes to watch a movie. And the craziest part? The cost. For the money it takes America to build 1 mile of track, China builds 5. They laid rails through frozen mountains and scorching deserts, places where a normal person would struggle just to walk. This isn't just construction anymore. This is conquest. And it's why the world now calls China the one true king of infrastructure. But railways were just the warm-up. Let's talk about bridges. A bridge isn't just metal and pavement. It's a statement of a nation's power. America has the Golden Gate Bridge, a masterpiece. But here's the hard truth. Today, 42% of U.S. bridges are old, crumbling, and costing the economy billions every year. Meanwhile, in China, of the 10 longest sea-crossing bridges on Earth, China owns 8 of them. In America, building a bridge takes 7 to 10 years. In China, in 2019, their engineers rotated and installed a 16,000-ton bridge section into place in just 85 minutes. One American observer could only ask, do the Chinese have more hours in a day than we do? And here's the ultimate proof, the Hong Kong Zhuhai Macau Bridge. But wait. That bridge hides a monster. Beneath it lies one of the most unbelievable engineering challenges in human history, the 6.7-kilometer undersea tunnel of the Hong Kong Zhuhai Macau Bridge. Now here's the kicker. Leaks are the nightmare of every underwater tunnel. Around the world, 10% of joints in immersed tube tunnels leak. In fact, there has never been a record of one being 100% watertight. Experts from Europe laughed. No way China can pull this off. That tunnel won't last a decade. Well, China didn't just silence them. They blew their doubts out of the ocean. Picture this, 33 gigantic immersed tubes, each 180 meters long, weighing a jaw-dropping 880,000 tons. That's heavier than 100 Eiffel Towers combined. They were lowered one by one into a 664-meter foundation trench, dug under 40 meters of seawater. Then each piece had to be joined with millimeter precision, because if they drifted even 5 centimeters, game over. Engineers compared it to threading a needle on a ship during a storm. And when in 2017, ocean currents pushed 2 sections 3 centimeters off alignment, China's custom-built hydraulic system corrected them within 15 minutes to millimeter accuracy. Oh my ghost! That's not construction. That's wizardry. And here's the part that makes jaws drop worldwide. This tunnel is guaranteed to remain 100% watertight for 120 years. How? China invented a semi-rigid structural system, using over 9,000 tons of steel reinforcement in every single tube, and created a concrete mix after hundreds of experiments, 6 model tests, 2 full-scale trials, and 18 verification runs. The result? Concrete that resists cracks, shrinkage, and can take on a 20-meter soil overburden load. 5 times the normal design limit. Even the waterproofing blew experts' minds. Swiss engineers provided advanced paving methods that achieved 0 gaps, 0 hollows. The tunnel walls became as tight as a submarine hull. Rubber water stops, pre-stressed steel bars, and hydraulic joints were layered like armor, ensuring no seawater could ever penetrate. And just in case, every 135 meters inside the tunnel, there's an emergency escape passage leading to the artificial islands. Fire, leak, total disaster, you still get out alive. Today, this tunnel is the longest immersed tube-road tunnel in the world. Together with the 34-mile bridge above, it has rewritten the rules of engineering, proving to the world that China is not just building infrastructure, they're bending reality. And here's the funny part. While Western politicians spend decades arguing about budgets and safety committees, China just built it. While experts in Europe said impossible, China's answer was simple: watch us. And now, the same critics are standing on the sidelines, jaws on the floor, realizing that the so-called infrastructure maniac just pulled off a miracle no one else on Earth dared to attempt. Finally, let's talk about a force that has terrified mankind for centuries: the power of water. America has the Hoover Dam, a true wonder of its time. But now, China has the Baihetan hydropower station. This isn't just a dam, it's an underground kingdom with 135 miles of tunnels and caverns. Imagine laying 300 Empire State Buildings on their side, end to end. Its largest machine hall alone could swallow 13 Boeing 737 airplanes whole, and its power output nearly 3 times that of the Hoover Dam, lighting up millions of homes. While America's Big Dig project dragged on for decades, becoming a black hole for money and time, China delivered Baihetan on schedule. That's the difference between a promise and a reality. This isn't just about electricity. This is proof that China is taming the forces of nature, turning mountains into pure power. So there you have it. From railways that defy distance, to bridges that tame the ocean, to tunnels that conquer the abyss, and dams that harness the power of gods, China has turned the impossible into undeniable, towering reality. The real question is, what are they building in the next 10 years? Cities in space, floating islands on the sea? Only time will tell. And if you want us to keep bringing you these unbelievable stories, smash that like button. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And most importantly, hit subscribe so you can be the first to see the future being built.